Traffic, Parking, and Transportation Committee. We have two bills on the agenda today. Bill BL 2018-1202, Elrod, Anthony Davis, and others. An ordinance amending Title 12 of the Metro Code of Laws to regulate dockless bicycle and scooter operators and to establish a permitting system. There is a proposed amendment, proposed substitute. Do I have a motion and a second to discuss?
And I would, as a sponsor, I would ask that we adopt the substitute. We're still working on it. We'll be working on a third substitute that we'll start requiring them in Old Hickory and Lakewood, where those communities really want them. And then we'll work on the third. Defer one meeting, but adopt the substitute tonight so that it goes out on the council website and people can see it.
We got a request to pass the proposed substitute. Is that correct?
And defer one meeting. Yes, sir.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Mr. Elrod, may I ask Chair real quick? Effectively, the second substitute changes what?
A lot of different stuff.
No, it doesn't. I mean, you don't have to do a full.
It changes how the caps are. It ups the caps, but it allows them to put more scooters on there. But they have to prove to Metro that they are being utilized. It lowers the fee just a little bit, but then it also adds in a lot more authority for Metro to do to regulate them and police them. And let's see, more data sharing. Let's see what else. Those are the main things. Puts in $1 for every dollar. $1 of every administrative fee would go to bike infrastructure and 1% of the fee revenue. I don't know if the administration will keep that in there, but I thought, well, hey, heck, why not?
And was that your addition?
Yes.
It was 1%. I mean, have we calculated that? Was that just sort of arbitrary to start the discussion?
Arbitrary.
Okay.
For discussion. But because the $1 was just something that I think Bird had talked about that they would be doing. So I thought, well, let's just and it's $1. The fee is $35 per vehicle that a company would have to pay annually. And it is clear, and to learning from our short-term rental issue is it says specifically in there that you get a 1-year permit, and that does it. I want to put it explicitly in here. Just because you have a permit doesn't give you a right to a permit the second year.
That's right. Because the annual permit is not a property right.
Yes.
I mean, is this something we have to bring to Nashville?
No.
No.
It's going to be here anyway.
But if we don't regulate them, they will come. I mean, the dockless companies had. Metro had a good argument, but there was going to be, I think, a legitimate legal issue in a court where we could have lost the legal case.
Let me ask you this. We've got on here the definition, and most of it says electric everywhere. What about the gasoline scooters and all those types? Are they included in this or not? Because, you've got the little birds like the ones that are electric that have got a little gas engine on the back.
These are only ones that are from companies that are renting them for public use.
Okay.
And we've talked about actually at a conference call this morning to try to tweak the definition so it could include that. Although I don't know of any companies that are renting those. Although God knows with everything that's coming to Nashville, who knows what could be coming. And
some other code changes, not just to this particular bill, which is focused on the companies that do the shared use model, but just as to regulate the devices themselves, in terms of anyone using them, whether they rent them or own them or whatever, maybe to update.
That's what I was asking you, because as I understand, and you correct me if I'm wrong, if they've got a gasoline scooter that's less than 49 cc, do they have to be licensed for the road or not?
No. You can have a DUI as long as it's not under. No.
I know that.
Because I've got several people, several group homes, and there's scooters all over the place because they're under 50 cc, so you don't need a license.
Right.
Just throw on a helmet and.
There's an AG opinion on whether if you drive like a motorized bicycle, that will be a DUI, and the answer is yes.
Oh, I'm saying, but once you lose your license. No, I'm not saying while they're drinking. I'm saying once they've lost their license. No, if you're operating, lawnmower, I think you can. Yeah, if it's under 50 cc's.
that's the George Jones rule.
Yeah.
I see.
He got the DUI because he's driving the lawnmower to the liquor store.
Yeah, but that's a motorized vehicle.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Now, there's some states that they do have DUI for bicycles alone with no motorized at all. I've seen it. But I've researched that before, because you always have clients that want to try to get around, the driver's license, and I go, well, if it's under 49 cc,
You don't need a license.
I don't think you need a license, or it don't have to be tagged either. Am I right or wrong?
I don't know about tags, because we had tags on the little scooter we had, but wife didn't have a license for it, no?
I don't think so. No, I don't think you have to.
I don't know about
In the
tags.
state, but that's,
Tag.
like, I know there's some cities, I don't know if they're in Tennessee, that you require tags on bicycles, like you have to register your bicycle.
Right. Arkansas did it.
Yeah.
But do you have to have a tag for these motorized scooters under 49 cc?
Oh, and for general use, I don't think so. But anything, if you're wanting to get permitted with Nashville, you will have to have it permitted. You won't have a permit necessarily on the scooter, but we'll have to have a unique identifier so that,
The people who are renting them, the shared use
Yeah,
model.
yeah, for the ones that
Not for
are
the
renting, but if,
individual
Larry buys one, you don't have to get it registered. But that's something that, looking at, that we may need to tweak, just the overall general definition and regulations regarding all types of, scooters and
Yeah, more for, I
bicycles.
think,
Yeah.
more for like a public safety type rules, like rules of the road type stuff, than for, wanting to like permit them or license them or something like that, I think,
So,
but
like,
other than the ones that are rented.
right now it says that at the request or the suggestion of Council Lady Allen, it says in here, like, you can't ride on sidewalks in a business district, but you can in other places. Well, that's not a great definition to have in the code because that's very
The
vague.
code already
That's in the
provides.
current.
But yeah, and that's how we got to, that's right. Because it was, well, that's kind of vague. I mean, it's like a good idea in theory, but how do you, is Nolensville Road a business district? Going down all the way down to, Old Irka Boulevard. So,
I always understood to be the core district, which the core is
Yeah,
predominantly.
but I think to Councilman Elrod, it's open to
interpretation.
interpretation.
Yeah.
I mean,
So 1258 actually has a specific description of geographic boundaries, but with Councilman Rosenberg's amend or substitute, that I think that will maybe not apply anymore to these scooters because I think they're making it only non-motorized scooters. So, but that has like it says like bordered by the railroad tracks and the gulch on the west and the river on the east and,
But it was written when the gulch wasn't the gulch, I imagine.
Right.
is Councilman Rosenberg likewise deferring his legislation so it tracks with yours?
Reluctantly, yes. Yeah.
Well, it was deferred
No,
in one committee, but not the other.
Yeah, we passed it in ours.
Yeah.
In which,
The other one I was just.
Public safety.
Public safety, that's it.
yeah, thank you.
In Public Works, we
I was just
deferred it
like,
because it
I'll
wasn't
talk
here.
long enough, it'll come to
Yeah.
me, so.
I mean, I think ideally those would track together just to make sure they're compatible, right?
Well, I mean, to Rosenberg's point, I mean, it's just, they match up because they have a scooter in them. He's just dealing with the actual gear, the safety gear.
Right, because basically at some point in our code, inline skating was popular and we thought people should have to have elbow pads and.
And with the boom boxes.
boxes on there.
But
Okay,
yeah, I can see
So
where.
you got in here, as far as helmets are concerned, it's encouraged but not mandatory?
Correct.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then one other question I had, Chair, as it relates to, and I appreciate you putting the fee piece in there just to start the conversation, but I would ask us to really look at the math because if Byrd, their first kind of, outreach to the city was that they would be very intentional about, telling their users where they can ride and where they can't ride, and then bike lanes are preferred, but as we all know, we have anemic bike infrastructure.
Yeah.
And so, I think these birds being out there has all the more highlighted how lacking our bikeable infrastructure is. And so I would love to see if this is an alternative mode that we as a city are going to support, and they seem to be very popular, that there is sort of this, symbiotic relationship, right? Because it behooves Bird for us to have better bikeable infrastructure, right? For their users, their participants, the adoption of their model. So I would ask us to look at that annual fee piece and, so $1 of 35, I mean, should it be 15 of the 35? I mean, honestly, let's just look at that, because what does that garner based on the cap that you've put in? Because if it's just sort of arbitrary and it only puts in, $5,000 a year to bikeable infrastructure, like what's the point of that? And it should maybe even just be less to just cover the cost of what we do. But if we want to actually have it be, a solid fee that, behooves both the city and Bird, by funding some more bikeable infrastructure, then, maybe the annual permit should be 45. I mean,
I know what you're going to, go ahead,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was gonna say, we have to be careful though, because we have an obligation for our fees to be cost-based.
Understood.
So it would have to be the degree to which, kind of like the incremental additional burden that these vehicles add to our bikeway infrastructure. The fee will have to be representative of that to cover the costs that they contribute to the overall equation. And if we charge them more than that, then it can be interpreted by the courts to be an illegal tax.
Okay, understood, but I think we should be diligent in trying to get at that, because again, I think they're just somewhat inextricably related. I mean, it's the same reason probably why the annual fee to have a car should be higher than it is, right? Because the impact on the roads.
One last question. Is there an age limit on these? Have they got to be 16 and above?
18 and above.
18 and above.
I've got it in there as 18 because that's what the other, that's what in my brief research of the different companies is it says 18. Although most of the companies require a driver's license, but something that Councilman Freeman was talking about earlier is, if you have a DUI and you don't have a driver's license, your driver's license is suspended, this could be something that you could use instead. So, may not necessarily want to require a driver's license. But even 18, I don't know, that may be for the company's insurance, but they're...
If it's a motorized vehicle, they might have to have a driver's license. That might get into the discussion y'all were having earlier, too.
Maybe. Yeah.
Also, too, what about the discrepancy between, just as a parent of a 16-year-old, I mean, 18 seems arbitrary. I recognize that 18-year-olds are probably safer operating motorized vehicles than 16-year-olds. I'm not sure why we let 16-year-olds actually drive, just saying. But
I got a many car wrecks.
I wonder if the 18 is a requirement that the insurance companies impose on the...
Yeah, I think that the 18, even if, I'm fine with looking at 16 personally, but I think we may see that the companies will say, you can put 16 on there, but we're not in one of these things, but it's over 18.
If we're going to get into bed with them, why don't we just stick with what they're doing?
Yeah.
If they're saying 18, let's just stick with 18.
no, I agree.
If we allow 16 and they have an accident or something, they might turn around and file a claim against us for allowing a minor to drive them.
Nope, these this requires an indemnification agreement with
Yeah,
Metro.
I don't think we'd be liable for that, but
Just make a comment.
Because
it would look bad in the news.
yeah, we look better in the
You
news.
can use the mature minor rule. You've heard of that, right? The mature minor
Yeah.
rule.
It would depend on the minor in question.
But I thought about that too, but in looking at like 2 or 3 or 4, I forget how many it was, it looked like 18 was the threshold and you needed a driver's license, but I didn't think about that because it's motorized, you may need to have a license no matter what.
I'm not 100% sure about that,
Yeah.
but we might need to look at that.
Okay. And, all right, y'all ready to, you deferring it?
Different one meeting,
It's
yes.
a long
yes.
discussion for
Yes, it was.
But this is, I'm trying to speed it through as much as I can, but still have the discussion, so this is good. It's good to have.
I'm not, yeah, I was
Yeah.
a long way.
All right.
You did already adopt the
Have a
substitute.
motion to
ma'am.
defer one meeting. Have a second?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Then I have, Mrs. O'Connell, an ordinance to amend the geographic information system, street and alley, centerline layer from the Metro area to Nashville and Davidson County by abandoning a portion of alley number 235 right away. Can you tell us about that, Mr.
Alley 235.
I actually don't remember where this one is. Do you know?
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion?
Second. Oh, yeah, motion.
Do I have a motion? Second? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public Works sometimes
You
comes
okay?
I hate to abandon something, I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
But Councilman O'Connell says it's okay.
And that is
Go through
the,
Public Works.
Councilman, was I not in the room when we did this in public works?
Yeah, if Public
We'll
Works,
abandon anything
I have a
Public
note
Works.
that it passed in Public Works.
Get rid of roads, we don't want to take care of them in the first place.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.